So once you have transferred this reaction from bolt to the fin plate or the angle, then definitely it will come to the weld. Here you can see we have provided weld. But at the end of this video, where I will solve a shear connection design that both side of the beam, say these are the bolt, and here also we have to provide. So in the plan view, if we look, this is the recently, one of you have asked me, sir, please make a video where all the checks of a shear connection is discussed, and also if possible, please provide us a template for designing the shear connection. Well, in this video, we'll discuss about the same thing, right? So what is that? First, before starting any design, you have to understand the force flow, right? And only after that, you can design each and every component of that connection. So for example, here first we will design the bolt, then we will design the fin plate or shear tape or the angle thickness, right? What is the size? And finally, again, we will understand how to design the weld, or in case if we provide it with the bolt, we will design it, right? So first we will discuss all of these things, then we will do a complete design. Okay, so let's start with the first thing, that is first understand the force flow. If you are beginner, in that case, well, what is a shear connection? There are different type of shear connection, right? So here I have just mentioned only three type of connection. Here you can see this is a beam to beam shear connection, right? And this is a fin plate or shear tape, whatever you can call it. Both of them only transfer shear, not moment, right? In my video, I have posted a poll where I just simply casually asked about the difference between shear tape and fin plate. Many of you, almost more than 70% of the people, right, has voted in favor of, well, the pin plate or shear tape, one of them is used for moment connection. No, this is not true. They're simply the version or the terminology used in different code, right? Mainly in ASC and Euro codes, right? So this is a beam column shear connection. Okay, and this is a shear connection where the beam has been connected with the column in this wave part. Here it has been connected with the flange part, right? So understand the force flow. So if this is the load, right, so this is the load, reaction is coming. So reaction will first come where? In the secondary beam, right? So from secondary beam wave, it will travel to the bolt. Then from this bolt, where it will go? Just pause this video, try to understand. So once the bolt has transferred, the load will come to the, yes, the fin plate or the angle or the shear tape, right? Now here the transfer will happen through shear action or bearing action, right? Great. So how this is going to happen? If you are interested to know about detail transfer of load through a bolt, you can go to the playlist and simply watch it, right? That is not the scope of this video. So once you have transferred this reaction from bolt to the fin plate or the angle, then definitely it will come to the weld. Here you can see we have provided weld. But at the end of this video, where I will solve a shear connection design, then we will use another bolt here. When, in which case the bolt will be used, you can see in that example, right? So here the weld will take the load and finally it will transfer to the supporting wave or flange. Why? Here you can see we have connected with the wave. So in this case this is supporting wave, but here we have connected with the flange. So in this case this is supporting flange. Simple, right? So we have understood how the force actually transfer from the secondary beam here to the primary beam or the primary column. Okay, now at the very first you have to understand how to design the bolt. Here you can see I have provided a simple plate in this connection, a simple plate, and the plate has been connected through bolt with this secondary beam. Then this has been connected through weld with this primary column, right? So here this is simply a shear tab or a fin plate. But here you can see we have first bolted. This is an angle, this is another angle. Okay, we have bolted it with the wave of secondary beam. This is the beam, secondary beam, or if it is a column, then we can also call it just simply beam. Okay, and this angle again has been bolted or riveted with the flange of the column. So here you can see in this case we have not used any weld, right? So once you are designing this bolt, for example, let's say this one, you have to check the shear capacity, right? So once you talk about shear capacity, you have to define whether it is under single shear or double shear. Here this is simply a single shear bolt, but here this is a double shear bolt, right? So again I am drawing. So this is the angle, one angle, this is another angle, and here is the beam. So this bolt is under double shear, but this one is single shear. Got it? Then we have to find out the bearing capacity. So to find out the bearing capacity also, here you can see to find the bearing capacity, we have to, this is one angle, this is another angle, this is the beam. So to bearing capacity calculate, for bearing capacity calculate, here we have to take the thickness of, yes, thickness of column flange. But for design this bolt, we have to take thickness of beam web. Can you see the detailing needed for a structural engineering field? Each and every step you have to, I think now it is clear to you how much clarity is needed to become a structural engineer, right? Each and every step there are different things, different detailing. Okay, so you have, through this method you will design the bolt. Don't worry, during the complete design procedure everything will be cleared, but there I will not repeat it. Okay, that is why I'm just discussing the theory, and there I will simply do the mathematics. That's it, right? So now you have completed the bolt. Then you have to design the, yes, the fin plate or shear tab or the angle, right? In this case, this is a shear tab or fin plate because it is welded, right? So whether it is a simply fin plate or whether it is angle, whatever we have to do, we have to check the thickness, right? Then we have to again design the weld or bolt. I have already discussed about it. If this is weld, previously I have discussed that if this is angle, right, in that case this is the column flange, we have to design this bolt instead of weld. But here if it is a shear tab, we have to design the weld. Got it? So these are the main checking, and also of course there are others checking also. There are a lot of checkings, but these are the major checkings, right? But among the others checking, I just would like to mention two main checking, right? First one is block shear checking, and second one is the bending capacity and shear capacity check of the supported beam. That means the secondary beam. Why we need to do it? So for first case, block shear check. Let's say in case of a secondary beam connection, you have simply removed this top flange. Here you can see. So definitely there is a chance that due to the high reaction or high shear, it will be cut like this easily because there is no flange to resist. In that case, you have to check the block shear failure. And let's say you have removed both flanges, top and bottom. In that case, in association with this block shear check, you also have to check the overall shear capacity of this wave and the bending capacity, right? Bending moment capacity about minor axis. Okay, so these two checkings are very important in case you have a notched secondary beam in both side, both at top and bottoms. Okay, so that's it. Now we will start our, yes, complete design of a shear connection. Let's start. So guys, if you have just started your career as a structural engineer and you think, well, I need a proper step-by-step guidance to design any steel structure, in that case, this course is definitely for you. Or if you are in the middle of your career and if you think, well, I need a guidance based on IS 800 2007 to design each and every element of a steel structure, whether it is a connection design, whether it is a beam element or a column element, or if it is a built-up column, in that case also, you can go through the description. There is a link. Once you click in the link, you can go through the complete detailed syllabus of this course, and if you find, well, this is for you, then definitely you can give it a try. So our problem is we have a ISLB beam, right, that is 350, and it is, let's say, this is the ISLB beam. Okay, and it is going to be connected with a column, right? So this is the flange. I'm sorry for my drawing. So This is ISHB. Okay, and the thickness of wave is here 9. Sorry, the thickness of the flange. Okay, why it is needed for determining the bearing capacity. And here the thickness of the beam wave, this is given as 7.4 mm. These data are required for calculating the bearing capacity. Okay, so total span is 8 meter, and total load is given as, let's say, it is total, let's say, 250 or 240 kilonewton. So reaction in each end is 120 kilonewton, correct? So column, right? And this is the angle. Okay, so this is another angle. This is the beam. So here there will be bolt which is under, yes, double shear. Here is bolt which is under single shear, right? Now here are the properties. Let's say total shear strength of your steel material is given as 100 MPa, and under this is under shear strength, right? And under bearing, this is given as 300 MPa. So first what we have to do, here you can see this bolt, right, which is with the beam web. Okay, so the bolt beam web shear capacity is how much? Pi by 4. Let's say here bolt or rivet dia is, let's say, 17 mm, so 17.5, right? And strength is given as 100, so this will give us approx 48, right? 24 kilonewton. And as it is under double shear, so the capacity will be 48 kilonewton. And what is the bearing capacity? So the bearing capacity will be, for bearing capacity calculation, what we have to take, we have to take the thickness as 7.4, right? So 7.4 is the thickness, dia is 17.5, and strength has been given as 300, so it is coming as 38. Okay, so what is the bolt value? Bolt value will be minimum of these two. So here 38 and 48, our bolt value is coming as 38 kilonewton. So total number of bolt required here, how many rows? Very simple, 120 divided by 38, so approximately it will come as 4 number. So here you have to provide 4 number bolt. Now let's say pitching is 55 mm and edge distance is 2.5 d, so you have to provide near about 221 mm. Here remember, the total length or depth of the angle will always be less than the beam depth, right? So it is advisable to have 0.7 into 350. Only 70% depth should be taken for angle. Okay, and now it is definitely 0.7 into 350. Fine, we have designed this bolt. Now time for this bolt. Simple, this is single shear, so the single shear capacity will be 24 kilonewton, and the bearing capacity calculation will be based on flange thickness. What is the flange thickness here? 9 mm. So 9 times 17.5 into 300, and this gives us how much? 47, right? So bolt value in this case will be 24. How many number is required? 120 divided by 24, so near about 6. So here we are providing at both side, so in each side there will be 3 bolt, 1 2 3 bolt. Clear? The detailing is clear. Bolt design part is over. Now we have to design the, yes, angle thickness. So angle height is clear, and we are assuming, let's say, we will provide some 90 by 98 mm angle. So what is the capacity? So we have two angle, so total thickness is coming as 8 times 2. We have to check the shear capacity. Okay, so the shear capacity is given as 100, sorry, 100, right? Now the maximum shear stress, this is simply a rectangular section. If we cut it, right, if we cut here, simply this is a rectangular section, two rectangular section with thickness 8 mm. So maximum shear stress in rectangular section is always, 2/3 times, yes, average shear, that is 120 divided by the area. Area is 2 into 8 into height is given as we have designed height. Where is height? 221. 221. Okay, by 2, right? Because the stress distribution looks like this in rectangular section, parabolic, and this is times tau average. Okay, so the screen is becoming very clumsy. So, and don't worry, we are almost at the end. And here, if you simply calculate this one, you will get 51. That is very less than 100. Okay, so the thickness is sufficient. So we have successfully designed a shear connection with double angle and bolt, right? So till now, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and don't forget to share it.